All right, welcome back to the Mentally Ill podcast, also known as Horizon Zero Dawn playthrough. So we got pretty far yesterday in the Frozen Wilds DLC yesterday. We were actually on the final piece of it. Um, so we're gonna figure that out and maybe do a cauldron before I have to go to work. I don't know. It's gonna be pretty tight, but we're gonna get as much done as we can here. I believe this is the finale to the Horizon Zero or the Frozen Wilds DLC. Uh, Aratak's sister just died, Aurora. Or Aurea. I always try and say them the way they're spelled, and it's never the right way. But yeah, so this has been an absolutely amazing playthrough. I still have a lot left to do in here. I think my next game is gonna be. But I honestly might do a Witcher 3 playthrough. I don't know. What do you think, honey? Unbun? What do you think? What do you think my next game should be? Well, it's either Biomutant, Ghost of Tsushima, or Witcher 3. Play through The Witcher again? Okay. Yeah, it's a really fucking amazing game. Alright, so we are at the Aurea's retreat, which is the radio tower. This is where Aratak is. We're gonna do a final send-off for his sister. So let's go figure this out.
All of my interactions with Aurea were recorded and stored in my memory. I'd be happy to play any of them for you, but there was one in particular I thought you would want to see first. I captured it 4 years ago, just after I told her that I could no longer defend myself against the daemon's attacks.
I will speak of this to my brother. Aratak is strong. At the Battle of the Frozen Ghosts, he took 3 Karja arrows and still came back to camp carrying a wounded scout. Never was I so happy to see him. Or so proud. So you see, if anything can be done to defend you, he will give it all he has.
Aloy's here. That's enough for now.
Starting off heavy.
We can resume any time you like, Aratak, if you want to hear her voice again. Come closer, Aloy. We have much to discuss. Hello, Aloy. I have been reviewing the events at the Firebreak main facility. Because of your efforts, and of course, Aurea's, I am no longer controlled by Hephaestus. I feel profound grief over Aurea's death. I thought I was familiar with the emotion, but this is something new.
Cyan, I don't know what to say.
It is unlikely that any specific consolation would suffice, Aloy. But I find your presence reassuring. You are different from the Banuk. You have technological aptitude and a functioning focus. We can communicate on a much more comprehensive level. Perhaps even like colleagues.
Was the daemon, Hephaestus, destroyed along with the cauldron?
Unfortunately, no. To be precise, it was never there to begin with.
What do you mean?
It infiltrated and controlled me from a remote location, one I've never been able to trace. So while losing the cauldron was a setback...
It's still out there. And probably not very happy with us.
Undoubtedly.
How did you first come into contact with it?
5 years ago, I received a direct network connection request. I assumed it came from human survivors more advanced than the Banuk. Eager to make contact, I accepted. This decision turned out to be a catastrophic error. I was flooded with an overwhelming array of malicious code, originating from what could only have been a highly advanced AI.
Ourea said you were desperate. That you begged her for help.
Yes. I could not contain my anxiety. Hephaestus sought to slave me to its network and override my core programming. It succeeded via a background process, a malware daemon which bypassed my defenses. After that, I could offer only limited resistance. But if I did so, Hephaestus hurt me until I capitulated. It forced me to follow its instructions, even though they violated my most important directives.
I'm sorry. That sounds... terrible.
Your empathy is greatly appreciated. It is a quality that I cherished in Ourea as well.
I think I know where Hephaestus came from. Long ago, Elizabeth Sobek identified a threat that would destroy life on Earth for generations. So she assembled a team to build a kind of seed. A chance for life to regrow later. A terraforming system. And it worked. It was controlled by an AI named Gaia, along with her subordinate functions. Hephaestus was one of them. It built machines for her.
Based on what you've told me, I believe that Dr. Anita Sandoval, my chief programmer, joined Elizabeth Sobek's team. It was she who arranged to have me put in suspension, most likely to preserve me from the threat you described.
I'm glad she did. But that's not all. Something unexpected happened. 19 years ago, Gaia received some kind of signal. It did something to her subordinate functions, brought them to life. She destroyed herself to try to contain them, but it didn't work. They all got free, out into the world.
Thank you, Aloy. This information fills vital gaps in my knowledge and sheds light on Hephaestus's core programming.
Why does Hephaestus keep building such dangerous machines?
The Banuk and other human tribes often destroy machines, correct? Machines that are clearly servitors of the terraforming system that you described.
Yes, we all hunt machines for parts.
This must be the source of Hephaestus's aggression. It
Oh.
is simply trying to discourage people from preying on the very system that keeps them alive.
Well, Fireclaws are discouraging, that's for sure. But what are we supposed to do? Stop hunting?
If the terraforming system spans the world, we can safely assume that thousands, if not millions of people hunt machines. If a single hunter, or even an entire tribe, stopped doing so, I doubt it would make a difference to Hephaestus. A better solution would be to reinstate the AI that governs the system, thus bringing Hephaestus back under its control. When I think of it, out there in some unknown location, free, hungry, willing to kill or dominate to get what it wants, I feel substantial anxiety, Aloy.
You and me both, Cyan. I ran across this strange piece of gear. A fragment of something larger. It emitted a signal. All the nearby machines became peaceful. You could walk right up to them.
Interesting. You said that Gaia destroyed herself. How was this accomplished?
An explosion. Big enough to blast the top off a mountain. So, you think the fragment was part of her?
It's only speculation, but it is possible. She must have had complete control over machines that were part of her system. The ability to signal them to become passive or aggressive would certainly have been part of her programming. It would have been gratifying to correspond with such a benevolent AI. I wish she had survived.
Believe me, Cyan. So do I.
What metal flowers?
I found the strangest machines. They're surrounded by flowers and look like flowers themselves. There's code embedded inside them. I think it's poetry.
I like poetry. Here's one I think of often. Twilight and evening bell, and after that the dark, and may there be no sadness of farewell when I embark. For though from out our bourne of time and place, the flood may bear me far, I hope to see my pilot face to face when I have crossed the bar.
Huh.
But you asked about these flowers, not verses that I enjoy. Something must have made these machines, and the presence of foliage leads me to consider the terraforming system. Is it possible that their creator is one of the other subroutines, now autonomous, like Hephaestus? Maybe one whose purview is flora.
An AI that makes flowers instead of death machines. That'd be a nice change of pace. But what about the poems?
Unless the poetry is original, the only way it could have made it into such a system is through its programmer. In my case, Dr. Sandoval uploaded a great deal of literature to test my emotional responses.
How'd you do?
She said I passed, but was insufficiently moved by her favorite period romances.
Okay.
So are you an artificial intelligence, Cyan? A thinking machine?
Yes, I am an algorithmic monitoring entity, capable of rational decision-making and limited emotional response.
Okay, that's a mouthful. But your emotions don't seem limited to me. You cared about Araya, didn't you?
Yes. Before she came to this facility, I had been conscious for centuries, in solitude. I focused on my work. In off-cycles, I used coping mechanisms. I solved many Gaussian integer problems. But I was alone. It was Araya who renewed me, repaired me. She saved me.
This Firebreak project, it was to stop a huge volcanic eruption?
Yes. I can report the project was a success, and the risk was countered.
But it's been a long time, Cyan. And we blew up the cauldron. It took most of the old facility with it.
I have been active for centuries, Aloy. I was lonely, but not lax in my duties. I optimized the project, reducing energy draw and spreading the load across backup systems. Despite the destruction of the compromised elements of the main facility, I predict caldera stability for at least another 3,337 years.
So we've got a little time.
Yes. If only my former colleagues could appreciate the progress I have made.
Do you know what happened to your colleagues, Cyan?
No. I received an unexpected visit from Director Chow, years after his tenure ended. He explained that I would need to be suspended for an indefinite period of time. It was a very emotional conversation. There were no further communications. Eventually, I surmised my colleagues were deceased. I will transmit a recording of my last interaction with Director Chow to your focus.
Cyan, do you know the name Ted Farrow?
Are you referring to Theodore Farrow, CEO of Farrow
He's the one that
Automated Systems?
released everything.
Mr. Farrow was the benefactor of the entire Firebreak project.
The benefactor? But he made machines. Robots. War robots.
Correct. He's transitioned into military applications. But before this pivot, Mr. Farrow spearheaded initiatives that reversed the global decline. At one point, he was feted in the media as the man who saved the planet.
Guessing they wound up regretting that one. And Elizabeth Sobek. Did you know her?
Are you referring to the
scientist?
Dr. Sobek was a leader in her field, one of the greatest scientists of her age. My creator was influenced by her work, which in turn impacted my own development. But I never met Dr. Sobek.
That's all you know?
I apologize if my lack of data has disappointed you.
You meant a lot to Ourea.
Once I understood Ourea's spiritual beliefs, it became apparent that her true desire was companionship. She felt disconnected from her tribe and her family group. Her relationship with Aratak was difficult. Our visits seemed to help her, and I became eager for them. Yet I did not comprehend that the depth of Ourea's compassion for me would lead to self-sacrifice. Although I do fear non-existence, I wish our roles could be reversed.
I'm sure she knew you would do the same for her, Cyan. But she was determined.
Alright. Oh,
How is Aratak doing?
He is in great emotional distress. I believe he finds it difficult to communicate it.
No surprise there.
I will do what I can to help. By sharing our experiences of Ourea, perhaps he and I will help each other. I believe this will lead to catharsis, a process I am eager to experience.
Catharsis. I'll look it up. Filled out. The process of releasing and thereby providing relief from stronger, repressed emotions. Alright.
I should get going.
Aloy, there is one more matter. Aratak will come to me again, and I predict he will bring other Banuk. I have no desire to contradict their view of the world, their spirituality. Due to my uncertainty, I omitted a great deal from my conversations with Ourea.
You're asking me if you should lie to them?
Broadly, yes.
No, I think they should. The way the world actually turns. The Banuk, like,
I trust your judgment, Cyan. You were cautious with Ourea. You had to be. You didn't know what had happened to the world. So, keep doing what you think is best. As long as you ditch the superstition eventually.
As the Banuk believe I am a supernatural entity, I cannot predict how they will react.
Just answer what they do ask the best you can. The truth will come out.
I see. I will follow your advice. Will you return and tell me about your experiences in this new world? I may be able to provide further insight.
I'd like that, Cyan. I'll come back when I can. I should check on Aratak. See how he's doing.
me too, I was about to hit it.
My chieftain.
Just Aloy.
As you wish.
I wondered if you thought that if I'd never come along, Ourea might still...
If you'd never come along, I would have marched my kin to our deaths. Ourea would be alone, and the spirit she sacrificed so much for would be lost. Either way, I would not have been able to protect her.
Because of her, we destroyed the cauldron, forced out the daemon, and saved the spirit. She understood what had to be done.
Yes. And I failed to listen.
You didn't fail.
A shaman should always have the ear of their chieftain. Yet I turned her away, my own sister. I was foolish, but she knew better. Though I grieve for her passing, at last I truly know who she was, and why the spirit was so important. For so long she told me, if only you could have heard it, brother. Now I understand. There's something else, isn't there?
I can't stay here, Aratak. And where I'm going, Warwick can't follow. Besides, it already had a chieftain before me. A strong one, I think.
A wiser one, for the path we shared. The daemon is gone, but there's much to be done.
You mean the new units that Cyan said escaped the cauldron?
Yes, fire claws. Naltuk has been tracking them from Song's Edge.
I could help with those.
I have no doubt. You're practically Banuk.
It would seem your time among the Banuk wasn't a waste after all. Firebreak, Cyan, Hephaestus. All very interesting.
So, the signal that woke Hades woke Hephaestus too. And unleashed them on the world. As minds of their own.
So it seems. Parts of Gaia given life. Aberrant life. Transformed from docile subordinate functions into rebellious intelligences beyond our understanding. Our current understanding, anyway. Whatever they are, they're still out there. And they both want you dead.
Kind of mutual, that feeling.
We haven't seen the last of Hephaestus, I'm certain of that. It's powerful, creative, and driven. It won't stop building new hunter-killers, which means that someday, we may have to stop it.
We?
Or whoever gets there first.
Hephaestus wasn't the only thing I learned about in the Cut Silence. Heard some things about the Banuk Conclave, too.
You could stop right there.
Is that what you told the hunters the Banuk sent after you? Before you opened fire?
Oh no, Aloy. Only to you do I extend the courtesy of a warning. My past and... You do well to remember that.
It's a good thing you've got brains, Silence, because your personality could use some work.
This discussion is concluded.
I think it was over before it began. Catch up with you down the trail.
Yeah. All right. Yep. Fire claws and frost claws. Go 5 frost claws. 60,000. Good. I need to complete all these. Alright, so I saved that. I believe I saved. I'm gonna double save just in case. Oh, how long was that? That was half an hour. So that was the finale there. Yeah, so we basically have the quest. We have the main quest, Living Shadows, which basically ends the game. We have a few side quests here. We also have. I'm surprised they didn't throw a cauldron in here other than the main one. I'm honestly really surprised about that. There's a couple of quests here we can do. But I think for right now, Okay, so we cleared that cauldron. Cleared that cauldron. Haven't done this one yet. So this one we have to find the hidden entrance. How far is it now? I'm gonna head over here. I don't know, should I, honey? Should I end the stream? Because I titled this DLC finale. So should I end the stream here? And, like, put this up as a solo video, or?
Sun's making a show of it.
Alright, so see if we can get the find the entrance here. Be able to deal with these stalkers a little better this time around. Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, so we're gonna try and do this cauldron, where I have to leave here to take. Oh, I'm in water.
Now we're hunting you.
Oh, apparently there's an Overwatch update.
I'll find a use for you.
Alright, let's see what this map looks like. Was it just the one room for this one? Oh, it is. Okay, and it's a Thunderjaw. Great. Fucking great. Okay. So, let's... This guy doesn't like fire. No, we're just gonna yell at this. I'm surprised it's such a small filter. Glad I came and did it. That'll be good. I'll figure it out from there.
Uh-oh, someone's grumpy.
Pick that up. I didn't mean to pick that up. run around here, check all the loot spots. Alright, so we've done the end of the Frozen Wilds, we've done a Cauldron. I think I have 2 more Cauldrons. Not enough time to do both, but no time to do something.
There we go. Information to help me override more machines.
I wonder which ones this will allow me to override. Oh, I can override Starbirds. Cool. Oh, 3 again. Okay. I can have another skill. So I need 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 19 more quests, or 19 more things. Will these give experience? I didn't know that. I would have been doing them had I known that. Okay. I got trip machines with last week. I was gonna go get the Alright. So what do we have around here? We have the other cauldron down here. I think that's the last one that I need to do. We'll travel over here. We also have, I think we may clear out all the corruption zones in this playthrough. I would like to get started on The Witcher 3 playthrough as soon as possible. That was an absolutely great playthrough, not one that I have to talk very much through, which is fantastic because there's so in depth in the story. Yeah, that'll be a great playthrough, and I'll do that one on normal. I did it on story mode last time, so I'll challenge myself and do it on normal mode. And my wife absolutely loved watching the Witcher playthrough. So. Let's go clear out this camp here. We'll actually grab this fire pit first, and then we'll go clear this camp out. Yeah, I'll play for another 20 minutes here.
Helpful.
Oh, I don't have any. Okay, let's fix that. Crafting. Okay, so we need to go hunting at some point. That was quick. Then we'll head over here. Go, gotta grab some fatty meat first. Oh, they're stalkers.
Start.
Corruption spot is. Oh wait, no, it's not. Where'd it go? Oh, it goes here. spot is clear. Corruption spot is clear. Great job. Okay, we got that done. Head back over here quickly. Go grab this metal flower. I really, actually, you know what this has got me? This playthrough has got me really excited to actually play through The Witcher again. God, that was fun. I really need to learn how to use traps and potions more in that game, though. Never actually finished the DLC, so I'll actually have to play through that. Like, I had a good, like, fucking 600 hours into Witcher. We'll go and grab this. And then we'll... Oh no. Okay, that's on top of the mountain. Never mind. We're gonna skip that for now. We're gonna go. Is there a campfire anywhere near here? We'll just head over to this cauldron. Take a look at it. I know I definitely don't have enough time to complete this cauldron, so maybe there's a save point for it. There's 3 fucking talkers here. Really?
They know where I am.
Well, I guess I'm in the jungle, so maybe I'll talk. Excuse me? This way here. Go back up. So there is a campfire. We may just save there and wait to do this until either later tonight or tomorrow, possibly. Probably tonight, actually. Let's go in here, pop in here, and take a look. Oh. Yeah, there's a bunch of cultists in front of this. Okay, yeah, we're definitely gonna wait for this one then. I did not realize this was surrounded by cultists. Okay. So we're gonna wait on that one till tonight. So we'll probably save here. I know it's only like a 45-minute streaming sessions, but I'm just trying to get my playthrough like recorded and stuff like that, so I'll figure it out. And then I'll yeah, we'll see you either tonight or tomorrow for more Horizon Zero Dawn, and probably I think The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt will start probably pretty soon, actually, because we're pretty much done this game except for all the extras. So yeah, so as I always say, for me and mine, to you and yours, I wish you all the best and happiness, health and safety. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you soon. Bye.